Hello and welcome to the ARCS. We're live here from Texas Motor Speedway for the running of the Buc-ees 70. Well folks, 2 races are in the books, and so far, every race has been pretty exciting thus far. Can Texas add to the excitement of this season? We'll have to wait and see. Now let's take a look at your top 10 qualifiers in today's field. Starting in the pole is Ricky Quinn. In second, Maxwell Smart. In third, Armando O'Reilly. In fourth, Jerry Funk. In fifth, William Donuts. In sixth, Theophilus Morgendorfer Jr. In seventh, Eddie Carlson. In eighth, Robbie Margot. In ninth, Deacon Gentleman. And rounding out your top 10, Bob Verstappen. Now let's take a look at the rest of the drivers in the field and get right on into the action here at the Buc-ees 70. And we're live here at Texas Motor Speedway for the running of the Buc-ees 70. And Ricky Quinn is going to lead us to green here in the Lone Star State with Maxwell Smart to his outside. And the green flag is out and we're underway. Pretty good start for both drivers, but Ricky Quinn with the advantage on the bottom. And we'll see who will jump out to an early lead as that 8 car has got a little bit of a good margin, but the 23, the rookie of Armando O'Reilly, closing up quickly. And that's going to give William Donuts some tow, and William Donuts might drop to the inside of the 23, and William Donuts will. And now the 8 car has to choose to block the 12 or the 23, and the 8 car will block the 12. The 8 car using the middle lane, and the 12, is going to be there. Who's going to lead the first lap at Texas? And I believe, it's going to be the 8 car of Ricky Quinn. But William Donuts with the best line on the bottom is going to get the advantage for lap 2 here at Texas. Drivers being fairly calm, but really racy here early in this race. We'll see if we get any crashes early. We did see a little bit of that in practice and qualifying with big groups pack racing, but as the 11 car of Aiden King shunts the 93 of Deacon Gentleman up the hill. In contact, Ricky Quinn and Deacon Gentleman. I thought they were going to go in the wall. My goodness, they usually do that in the tri-oval here at Texas, but they just barely missed out on a big accident. As Eddie Carlson is your leader with the 1 car of Aiden King in second place, but about to be the 7 car as they are 3 wide on the backstretch. That is not going to work out if they stay like that. As we got John Ross Stein, and we'll talk about John Ross Stein in a moment, on that bottom lane behind Mitch Barrier in the 91. As they get through here fairly cleanly. Wow, that 3 wide is just barely working here in the tri-oval. It's very tight up at the front, but Eddie Carlson still leading with a sizable lead, well, for Texas, I should say, over the 42, I believe, of John Hendricks. So, wow, and they are 3 abreast back there. That is just amazing me. There is no way that is sustainable here at Texas as John Ross Stein has moved his way up into 4th place. And I'll begin to talk about John Ross Stein as John Ross Stein is now teammates with that 3 car of Joshua Harrison. So there was an expansion. A team wanted to expand. That 9 turned into the 3. And then also with that expansion, we had another team join the fray, and that is John Ross Stein. He is returning for Season 3. He was a Season 2 driver. So we'll see John Ross Stein come back, but he will not be granted any leeway in this season as he has joined late. So he will have to catch up on points. But if he does win, he will make it into the playoffs, but he was behind on points. So he's going to need a very stellar run here in the ARCS. So we now have a 41 car field here in the ARCS. So Eddie Carlson still out in front after a massive move to the front of the field, but that 91 of Mitch Barrier on the outside trying to gain some ground on Eddie Carlson, but nobody can find a way to get him. As everybody is attempting to draft off each other, at least get a push-up to Eddie Carlson. But we'll see if anybody can mount a charge, as we have 40 laps to go here in the Buc-ees 70. As David Long, and he sends Keith Vega up the hill. And 3 wide is still throughout this pack, but we're going to see if anybody's got anything for Eddie Carlson. And David Long's got to the inside of that 38 of Keith Vega. And we'll see if David Long, I think David Long could get some draft off that 48 if he can just break free of the 38 of Keith Vega. And I believe he does right there. So David Long in that 99 that Sitgo 99 is going to maybe have a shot if he can break free of this pack, and maybe Denzel Scott can travel with him. Oh, and we got a crash to the inside retaining wall. 3 cars around. Deacon Gentleman, Cooper Holmes, and I believe there was another driver, but they did not hit the wall, as Eddie Carlson will lead us back to the caution flag, and that was an unexpected yellow, but we did make it 9 laps here at Texas. And we're back here at Texas. Let's take a look at the replay. Oh, 4 wide, not working on the backstretch, and oh, Tony Jansen nearly eats the inside retaining wall, but Cooper Holmes and Deacon Gentleman are the victims that hit that inside retaining wall. Luckily, a safer barrier here at Texas, but we'll see if anybody's out of the race when we come back after this replay. And we're back here at Texas, and Eddie Carlson's going to take the green flag. And after that accident, we've only got 1 car that's a lap down, so nobody's out of this race, as Eddie Carlson will lead us back to green. And nobody's really jumped out too wide, with Quinn Porter with probably the only car inside the top 10 really that's jumped out and tried to make a move early. And this restart over his Toyota teammate of Chris Hergeson in that 40 car. But Eddie Carlson still with the lead here at Texas. But David Long and Denzel Scott have been trying to catch him this whole time, and they might get him here, as David Long's been stalking him for way too long to just sit there behind him and stare. Oh, and David Long's going to get him with some help from Denzel Scott, the veteran. And the rookie's going to... 2 rookies battling up at the front, I should say, but Denzel Scott maybe going to make it 3 wide and take advantage of this 2 wide action, as everybody's now joining this fight up at the front, and they're getting 2 wide here, as they were earlier in this race. The pack is forming slowly, and as I say that, everybody forms up 2 wide, and as they cross the stripe, 15 of 47 complete here in the Buc-ees 70, and David Long is going to lead that lap, and David Long is one of the only drivers that's led this race, besides Eddie Carlson and a couple others that traded paint earlier, as Eddie Carlson was dominant after he broke free of the pack. Oh, and Eddie Carlson drops below Keith Vega, and he will not cycle out to the back, and he'll try his luck at another round at the lead here at Texas, as Denzel Scott is your leader right now, but will that change after they cross the stripe here at Texas? And I don't think David Long's too happy with this, as that inside line is formed up pretty tightly on the bottom, and David Long is going to be the odd man out, with Denzel Scott slowing him up in front of him. And look who's back in the lead, folks. Eddie Carlson, the rookie, is back, but Keith Vega going to try to take advantage of Eddie Carlson being on that outside lane and drop to the bottom. Keith Vega, the veteran here in the ARCS. Ooh, with Denzel Scott a little loose off the corner, nearly gets into David Long and causes an accident, but 3 wide and 4 wide does not work very well at Texas, as you have seen with that wreck earlier on the backstretch, as Andy Seville's worked his way up here, along with Robbie Margot and that 42 car of John Hendricks. So some faces we haven't seen up at the front all day have slowly worked their way up through the pack, and now are sitting in a pretty prime position here at Texas. But Keith Vega still leading that bottom lane, trying to make inroads on Keith Vega, and I think they have right here, as Keith Vega goes slightly up the track. He does not want to block the faster cars on the bottom, who could potentially take him out, as John Hendricks is side by side for the lead. But we'll take a look at some of the drivers, and I believe John Hendricks will have it here, but Andy Seville might make it 3, well, not 3 wide now, but potentially we could see some 3 wide. Ooh, as they're tight throughout the pack, but no cautions due to that 3 wide action. I am really surprised, because that Troy Oval is very dangerous, as I have pointed out many times here at Texas. And if you don't believe me of how dangerous the Troy Oval is, just take a look at last season's Texas race. There was a lot of shenanigans that happened in the Troy Oval, as we got 3 wide for the lead here, just as I was talking about 3 wide not working, as Robbie Margot is going to take the lead in that Peanut Butter M&M's Toyota. Oh, and we got a car that's about to go a lap down up here. Deacon Gentleman, poor Deacon Gentleman, and he's about to go 2 laps down here, with Robbie Margot in the lead, but we'll see where the lap car falls, as the lap cars have been deciders this season. Whoa, was Aiden King up the track, nearly gets into the 18, but the 18 will block the 1 car, and Benedict Schumacher is going to drop below Aiden King, and oh, Deacon Gentleman is really off the pace. Where will he fall? Oh, he's going to sit right in front of the leader Oh, and where is he going to sit and block? Oh, and Benedict Schumacher might get around him on the bottom. And this front pack is absolutely slowed down tremendously to try to avoid Deacon Gentleman. Oh, and that outer lane is stalled heavily here. And Benedict Schumacher will run away. We'll see if the Deacon Gentleman machine will get out of the way here, and he will not. He is holding up Draven Sandy and Robbie Margot as Darren Kiefer looks to the inside for the lead here. We'll take a look and see who can get past Deacon Gentleman, and Deacon Gentleman stringing this pack out really bad here. And those drivers are not happy here at Texas that are behind Deacon Gentleman, just trying to get around him at any means possible, as these drivers have broken away. But Darren Kiefer, after that manufacturer change from Season 2 into Season 3, he now drives a Dodge. And when he won the championship in Season 2, he was driving an Audi, but Cassidy Reynolds is going to move to the inside, and Quinn Porter might take it 3 wide in turn 3. We'll see. Oh, and he does! Cassidy Reynolds almost gets into Darren Kiefer, as the pack behind him has strung out quite significantly, and we'll see at the stripe who leads. Quinn Porter will lead this lap, but I believe the pack needs to pit, so we'll see how a pit strategy could potentially throw a wrench into these people up at the front and their plans to try to win this race. But we'll see if it happens here at Texas. We're not quite sure where the pit strategy will fall, but it'll be interesting to see, as Quinn Porter leads right now with Michael Redinger in second place over Ricky Quinn and Mitch Barrier, as a small pack is starting to form up at the front. But Quinn Porter is trying to run away, just like Eddie Carlson earlier this race. But I don't think he will be able... Well, he might be able to if Mitch Barrier can get underneath Michael Redinger. Oh, but Michael Redinger was able to draft behind Quinn Porter and bring this pack to him, as Mitch Barrier, another driver that changed manufacturers from Season 2 to Season 3. He was a Dodge, now he's a Mustang. This top 5 here at Texas, we have a Toyota leading, 2 Mustangs second and third, then you get a Toyota, and then a little bit more diversity there as you get a Dodge, Chevy, and Mustang back there. So pretty thick full of Mustangs up at the front. Ooh, as Ryan Just is going to pin Benedict Schumacher and Michael Redinger 3 wide. Oh, and we got a car to the inside of the track, but I think they're okay. I believe I saw Joffrey Weeds back there make contact with somebody and was nearly on the apron, so I believe we're still green, but drivers being kind of wacky in the back of the field. And it'd be interesting to see some green flag pit stops here at Texas, something we have not seen in Season 3 thus far. We've seen some yellow flag pit stops under caution, but other than that, they have not pitted during green flag conditions, so it'll be interesting to see, like I said, who will get the best pit stop. If we do have pit stops, though, that is the main thing, as Richard Morphy is your leader. Whoa, and Ryan Just made a dicey move there. I thought he was going to go in the wall, but he is okay here at Texas. And while we have a minute here, let's take a look at your Buc-ees fastest lap of the day. And your fastest lap leader is the 15 car of Jack Porter. So congratulations to Jack Porter on the Buc-ees fastest lap award so far today. We'll check back later and see if Buc-ee will give a fastest lap to anyone else. But how about Armando O'Reilly? He has broken away from this field. It was Richard Morphy and Armando O'Reilly. Oh, and we got pitters, folks. We have pitters back there, as a group of cars have come down on pit road. And we'll see who leads it. Michael Redinger is leading them down pit road. And we'll stay with your leader here, Armando O'Reilly. We just had to check in with those pitters. And Armando O'Reilly, pretty good lead. But with Armando O'Reilly this far out in front, will he have help when he comes off pit road? That'll be key here at Texas, if you can have some friends that'll help you draft off each other to get your lap fast. Whoa, and Mitch Barrier, oh, we got contact on pit road. Ryan Just goes around Jerry Funk as well, and this is going to throw a wrench into everybody else's plans, as Jerry Funk has turned into a turnstile on pit road, and he's hitting everybody. And that, I think, will close pit road, but this is absolutely terrible for the drivers pitting, as they will probably go a lap down, and I have no idea who the pace car is going to pick up this, as the leader, as Armando O'Reilly's still out, but pits are closed, I believe. And Armando will lead back to the caution, but this is absolutely wacky tobacco here at Texas, as Armando O'Reilly is your leader, but the pace car has picked up Michael Redinger. So we'll let things cycle out under caution, and if the leaders decide to pit, we'll cut to coverage of pit stops here at Texas. And we're back here at Texas. Let's take a look at the replay as Jerry Funk makes a late move onto pit road. Oh, and he chop blocks Diego Tacone and Ryan Just, and Matthew Buc-ees Sr. get damage. As you can see there, as we called it during the race, Jerry Funk turned into a turnstile as he gives everybody damage that tries to get onto pit road. And we'll get another angle of a different accident that happened under this caution period at Texas. And here's another angle, folks. It wasn't those cars on pit road, but Matthew Buc-ees Jr., and Draven Sandy make contact, slowing down to the caution flag. And that car is junked, as you can see Blubber looking on that accident he just saw unfold before his eyes. But Matthew Buc-ees Jr. is crunched here at Texas, and we'll get back to the action in just a moment. And here's another look at some suspicious activity going on track as Mitch Barrier with a late pit entry as he absolutely avoids the commitment cone, and he probably speeding on pit road. We'll see what the ARCS stewards have to say about that one, but Mitch Barrier definitely with an illegal pit entry, but we'll have to wait and see what the guidelines are following that weird pit entry, and we'll get back to the action in just a moment here at Texas. And we're back here at Texas, and the leaders are going to pit as I predicted. And Armando O'Reilly will lead the cars that did not pit before the caution happened under the green or the yellow flag conditions here. He will lead them onto the pit road in that Spire Motorsports car, and there are the drivers that did not pit. I believe led by Mitch Barrier, so we'll see how that shakes out as William Donuts is crumpled on pit road. Not good for William Donuts, and we'll see who gets the fastest stop off pit road. I believe it might go... Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to go to that 23 crew. And Armando O'Reilly first off pit road, but he's going to probably get cycled to the midfield as those drivers that did pit are leading over them. Oh, and close between Darren Kiefer and Quinn Porter. Ooh, they make a little contact off pit road. And we'll get back to the action here at Texas in just a moment. And we're back here at Texas, and something's wrong with the timing and scoring here at Texas as there are drivers in front of the leader that they're scoring currently, and that is Armando O'Reilly in that 23 car. As you can see, everybody getting up to speed. And the pace car is... Oh, and there's a car off! There is a car off! Somebody's got a blown engine, as these drivers up front are not the leaders here at Texas, as they all waved around and got their lap back as they were earlier. So Armando O'Reilly is the leader is because he was out on track while all these drivers came in a pit and were a lap down. So Armando O'Reilly is your leader. All these drivers that are in front have their lap back. So we'll see how everything shakes out as Benedict Schumacher is on the bottom, passing Armando O'Reilly, who is the leader. So the 7 and 23 are your leaders, and now the 7 has Quinn Porter behind him, so that's the challenger for the lead there. So we'll try to paint you a pretty good picture of who's in the lead and who's not fighting for this win here at Texas. As the 7 is still the leader here with Quinn Porter, Darren Kiefer, and the 3 car of Joshua Harrison in tow. As Benedict Schumacher trying to cut through this field and get back up to the front where he belongs and put these drivers a lap down. As Aiden King blocking his efforts to get to the front. Ooh, and Quinn Porter's going to drop below Cooper Howens of a lap car. Ooh, and Benedict Schumacher trying to get through all these lappers as we are 36 of 47 complete here in the Buc-ees 70. As we definitely have a lot of cars to cut through, but Benedict Schumacher, the rookie, is up to the task here at Texas. But Quinn Porter, Darren Kiefer, and Joshua Harrison are all up to the task to try to catch him. That's definitely not what these drivers wanted, but it was how the caution fell and how the drivers needed to retain their lap back. Not what you want to see, but what is in the rulebook, I guess you could say. So you can't be mad here in the ARCS. You just have to roll with the punches. As Benedict Schumacher is still your leader, and the 95 and 3 are trying to give chase to the 7 car. It's the 7 car trying to work on Tony Jansen and possibly put him a lap down. As these cars in front of them are dancing around 3 wide, that is definitely not good for Benedict Schumacher, and we could see a crash in front of the leaders, and that could absolutely throw a wrench into the plans of everyone here. So anything goes. It's the Wild West, quite literally at Texas Motor Speedway in the Buc-ees 70. As Benedict Schumacher's being held up by Tony Jansen, and Quinn Porter is right there, folks. The 7 and 95 are contending for the lead, and we'll see who can get around these lappers the quickest. Quinn Porter's going to go to the outside, see if that bottom lane will slow Benedict Schumacher up. Benedict Schumacher trying to get his first career win ever as a rookie. But we'll see if Benedict Schumacher can hold on and maybe get a win, but it's not over till the Fat Lady sings here at Texas in the Buc-ees 70. As Joshua Harrison, don't count Joshua Harrison out, as he is right there with Darren Kiefer, with a little bit of help from Darren Kiefer, I should say. And Joshua Harrison, that new team, he's only been in one race this season, and it was last race at Atlanta where he was probably able to pull out a pretty good finish if I remember correctly. And oh my goodness, he's going to pass the 7 car of Benedict Schumacher, who goes up the track, gets a little loose in that corner, and the 3 car is leading here at Texas. My goodness, if you would have told me the new team would be leading and possibly getting a win, their second race ever of the season, I would have told you were crazy. But that 3 car of Joshua Harrison is up front and trying to block Darren Kiefer, your Season 2 champion. And Darren Kiefer trying to get into the playoffs and defend his title here in Season 3, something we have not seen a driver defend ever in ARCS history, as Jerry Funk, your Season 1 champion, was unable to qualify for the playoffs in Season 2 to defend his title. But we've got 3 drivers who are hungry right here for the win. Joshua Harrison, Darren Kiefer, and Benedict Schumacher, all 3 drivers under a blanket here. Roughly 6 laps to go in this event. Oh, and they are getting dicey up at the front, folks. They are not being nice, or not playing nice, I should say. As all of the contending drivers are on the bottom lane here, trying to cut through these lap cars that are ultimately holding them up. But the 3 car is still your leader here at Texas Motor Speedway, and Darren Kiefer is going to need to make a daring move and make it 3 wide if he wants to get around that 3 car of Joshua Harrison. But these lappers are not cutting anyone any slack, as they're still going 3 wide, and I'm just calling it here. We could see an accident. I'm not saying it will happen, but it's possible the way they're racing. As the 3 car of Joshua Harrison, as we keep saying, still your leader here at Texas. I know it looks kind of weird, but that's just how the rules are here in the ARCS. I wish they could be a little differently, but that's what we have to roll with. As we've got 3, the 39, and the 7 being bookended by the 17, who is not in this fight. So 3 cars still have a shot here. And that 22 is behind the 17, so the 22 of Sean Carson is going to need to get around that 17 car if he wants a shot at this win. As the 3 car making good pace through these lap cars, as well as the 39 and the 7, all able to make pretty good time, and just stalking that 3 car, waiting till he gets out in front to make a move and possibly get the win here at Texas. But Eddie Carlson of these lappers has broken away, so he could be in the way of this finish, but these lappers have been in the way the majority of the way through this stint here after that caution. And the 3 car of Joshua Harrison going to get some clean air here at Texas, something he has not had all race, as he gets below the 91 of Mitch Barrier. And will that allow Darren Kiefer or Benedict Schumacher to make a move on Joshua Harrison? And Joshua Harrison is just hoping that alternate 3 Wrangler scheme will get him the luck he needs to get a victory here in the ARCS, and he just has to get around Eddie Carlson and get that cleaner. Oh, but he's up the track, folks. Darren Kiefer's going to look to the inside, and we're going to have a pass for the lead here at Texas. As Darren Kiefer in the Dodge, toe-to-toe with the Chevrolet of Joshua Harrison. Will Benedict Schumacher make it 3 wide? 3 manufacturers, potentially 3 wide at Texas. Oh, and Benedict Schumacher's there, right behind Darren Kiefer. Don't mind Eddie Carlson. We're getting to the final lap here at Texas Motor Speedway. Who will win? Darren Kiefer or Benedict Schumacher, as they've got 4 more corners to negotiate here at Texas. Eddie Carlson in the way. Oh, and Eddie Carlson with that dirty air gives Darren Kiefer not the lane he was looking for, and Benedict Schumacher has the lead at Texas. He's been looking for these first couple races. He's had some bad luck, but Benedict Schumacher, the rookie, coming off turn 3 and 4, could potentially be looking at his first career win, and Benedict Schumacher's going to do it here at Texas and collect the victory at the Buc-ees 70. Congratulations to Benedict Schumacher, the rookie, on getting his first ever win and securing his place in the playoffs. And speaking of your highest finishing rookie in the field, it was Benedict Schumacher in the Hooters number 7 car. And we're back here at Texas after an exciting finish with Benedict Schumacher, the rookie, claiming victory over Joshua Harrison and Darren Kiefer. In second, ultimately falling up short, was Darren Kiefer trying to negotiate his way through the lap cars, along with Joshua Harrison finishing in third. In fourth, we had Sean Carson. In fifth, Quinn Porter. In sixth, Denzel Scott. In seventh, Cassidy Reynolds. In eighth, Blubber Plummer. In ninth, Chris Hergeson. Rounding out your top 10, David Long. And a lot of drivers getting caught out on the pit cycle, and that's why they are a lap down, and that's why they started in front of the other drivers, so can't fault the officials for enforcing the rulebook. And we only had a couple drivers out of this race, but all in all, a fairly good race, minus the cars being out on track that were in front of the leaders. But congratulations again to your winner here at Texas, Benedict Schumacher, and we'll see you next week at Pocono, a new track on our schedule, so hope to see you there at Pocono.